So as you all probably know, we recently took our Model 3 out on a little road trip out to Reno, Nevada, and I wanted to go over what exactly that road trip cost. We bought that Model 3 at a time that there was no free supercharging or any kind of credit, so we didn't have that opportunity. Fortunately for you guys though, any order placed by December 18th for Model S, X, or any Model 3 will get 6 months of free supercharging with the use of a referral code. If you need one, ours is down below in the description or at the top of our website if you would like to use that. But we unfortunately didn't get to take advantage of any of that, so we actually had to pay for our supercharging. So we tracked everything along the way, and I'll go ahead and put things up as I'm talking and you can check it out. But I went ahead and just took a picture at every supercharger that we charged at, and this is kind of the breakdown. So one thing to keep in mind with all this data that I'm throwing out there is we were going an average of 80 miles an hour on the highway, whereas most MPG ratings from other car manufacturers are actually right about 55 miles an hour where they test it. So when I compare everything, I'm gonna compare it with all the numbers stated online on all the car manufacturers' websites, but then I'm also going to kind of break it down and see what everything would be at 80 miles an hour, because that's what we were truly traveling, not 55 to 60. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I have my tablet right here because this is a lot of numbers and I need this to go over. So I'll just like project some stuff up here. I went ahead and took the Model 3 and compared it to a BMW 230, 330, a 430, an Audi A3, A4, A5, a Mercedes C300, a Lexus ES, a Lexus ES Hybrid, Acura TLX, Toyota Camry, Honda Civic, Honda Accord, Toyota Prius, and a Ford Fusion Energy. Whew, it's a lot of comparisons, but from what all the research I've done says that these are what most people are actually getting rid of to jump into a Model 3. So I figured it's only accurate to compare as close as we can. And I went ahead and listed out the price so you can see clearly Model 3 in its current state is one of the more expensive vehicles on here. That is actually almost like fully loaded for an all-wheel drive, whereas a lot of these other cars aren't all-wheel drive and these are their starting at prices. So keep that in mind. I went ahead and broke it down and listed the miles per gallon also. So the Model 3 MPGe is 116 for both around town and highway. And went ahead and broke everything down by both city and highway driving. But since we were just doing highway driving, I went ahead and kicked that out and used the highway miles per gallon or MPGe column. Our road trip from here in Colorado to Reno was 1,051 miles. However, the Ford Fusion Energy, I went ahead and dropped it down to 1,030 miles because the first 21 miles is electric, then after that it's all on the MPG. In its electric state, yeah, the Ford Fusion Energy gets 109 to 97, but as you take away that electricity and deplete it, it drops down to 41 miles per gallon. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then the average fuel cost, I just took everything from along our trip and it got $3.20 average. So here's where it gets fun. This is based on online calculations. And for the Tesla Model 3, I went ahead and typed in the start, typed in the endpoint at Tesla's website. You can do that yourself. I'll go ahead and leave the link down in the description. Play around with it. It talks about leaving with a full charge and everything. So then what I did is came up with the Model 3 potential supercharging cost. So what I did is I used 22 cents per kilowatt for the mileage after we left home. And when we are at home, it is roughly like 8 cents per kilowatt to charge at night. But we actually do have solar, so it could have even been free, but worst case, it would have been 8 cents per kilowatt charging at night. So we're just gonna go with that. And then I went ahead and figured out exactly what all the other cars would be. And I did that by basically just taking the total miles, divide it by the average highway miles per gallon, multiplying that by $3.20 average fuel cost per gallon. And so here you can see how much everything would be relative to what I was estimating for the Model 3. Down here you can see the Honda Accord was actually the worst offender, and that came in at $120 for pretty much the same road trip. Some of the better ones were obviously going to be the Toyota Prius, which came in at $67 estimation, and that was about 1.5 times the price. So there's this, but keep in mind, this is all just estimation. So next up, we're gonna go to the real world Model 3 cost versus the estimated cost that we had already come up with. So here you can see we actually only spent $42 on supercharging. And just to go over that real quick, that was in Laramie, it was $4.18. In Rollins, it was $5.28. Rock Springs was $5.83. Evanston was $6.60. West Wendover was $8.64. Elko was $4.08, and Winnemucca was $7.56. So now I'm basically going to go over probably the most important information that I came up with, and that's all these mile per gallon that are listed on all these websites for all these car manufacturers are almost all done at 55 miles per hour. Well, I stated earlier, we are going 80. So I did a lot of research, and according to fueleconomy.gov, going from 55 to 80 miles an hour is a 27 to 28% drop in efficiency. So multiplying that out, we just took the average MPG ratings, multiplied that by 72%, and that is what we got here, and multiplied all that out. So I really think this is a lot closer to what everything looked like. We paid $42 for the entire road trip, and if you look at some of these other cars, you can see if we estimate if we were in a Ford Fusion Energy, it would be about $112. That's over 2.5 times the price. If we were in a Honda Accord, it's $166. That's almost 4 times the price. And a couple of these others are still right there in the mid threes. Now Tesla does charge different rates depending on your state. Some states they cannot charge by the kilowatt because only electrical companies can do that, and since they aren't an electrical company, they charge by time. It's a little bit more confusing, but if you actually go to your car's navigation and go ahead and click on any supercharger, it'll actually tell you if you have to pay for supercharging, what it would be. So again, for all you like Model S and X owners that have free supercharging, you don't have to worry about this at all. Same with you Performance Model 3 owners that got in early. So based off this data, it definitely goes to show you that supercharging is roughly 1/3 to 1/4 of the cost. I've seen a lot of misinformation lately saying that supercharging is actually more expensive than fuel, and that could not be further from the truth. Some of the research I did actually showed that the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit was drafted in response to oil price spikes and supply distributions during 1973 oil crisis, not because it is actually safer. So a lot of the highways nowadays actually do go a lot faster. I don't know, I would be interested to see a lot of these cars truly taken on the same route at 80 miles an hour to see what they would truly get. I don't really want to do that because that's a lot of cars, and I don't really want to have to pay for fuel. I haven't in 3 years. Why would I start now? So that is why we did that estimation, but based on fueleconomy.gov, it should hold true. Anyway, let me know if you guys have done any road trips. Was it cheaper than you expected? Was it free because you got free supercharging? Or are you still under the 6 months of free supercharging, or did you get a supercharging credit? Let me know down in the comment section below. This is just what we experienced. Just want to let you guys know because supercharging is not more expensive than gasoline. It truly isn't. Because this also at $3.20 a gallon was the cheapest gasoline. It was not like the premium grades or any of that. Could have gotten a lot uglier if we had used that. Anyway, that's basically it for this one. Just wanted to run over these numbers with you. I found them pretty interesting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it though. As always, if you guys are looking for a Tesla, definitely check out our website, teslainventory.com. If you're looking for a new or inventory Model S, X, or Model 3, any kind of Model 3, mid-range, long-range, all-wheel drive performance, feel free to use our referral code. It's down in the description below and at the top of our website. Using it will actually get you 6 months of free supercharging, so you don't have to worry for the first 6 months of owning your car about any supercharging fees. So definitely get out there, do some road trips. They're actually a blast. And if you do use our code, definitely fill out our form on our website. It's on the top right, the little Roadster icon. That way, when we take delivery of our next-gen Roadsters, we can invite you guys out, do test rides. Test drives, have a big old party, because without your support, none of this would be possible, and we can't thank you guys enough. As always, though, thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Go ahead and click here to subscribe, here for some other ones, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.